Let's talk about this renewable situation for a minute. I've got to say that I've lived off grid for a few years. I see the benefit in a solar panel and what it can do. But what I don't see a benefit of is these climate alarmists suggesting that we need to rape and pillage pristine agricultural areas to put hectares and hectares and hectares of solar panels. We need to go into pristine environments and rip, tear and bust to put the pedestal fans in, all to see that we're not going to replace what we've got now with substantial, constant power. How is it that everything that a government seems to want to do has to have a commercial lean to it? It means it has to make a profit to it. If, for say, we originally started with solar panels and these electricity companies were actually giving money back to people who were putting power into the grid. Now, I'm getting reports that people that are doing that are no longer receiving any sort of benefit or price off their bill, because these electricity companies are now saying, oh no, we've got too much baseload power during the day and we can't cope with it. We still haven't got a system that at the moment can produce enough energy for the needs and wants and desires of every summer, say. We're turning air conditionings off. They're putting smart meters in your house to eventually make sure that you can't turn that electricity on when you need it. But now we're spending over $300 billion replacing a system that was already in place, that all it needed to do was upgrade that system. Why do we say to ourselves that $300 billion can't be spent subsidising rooftop solar and batteries? Now, if that's the way you're inclined, but is this about the commercial venture? Is this about if everybody had solar panels and batteries and you paid outright $10,000, $15,000 for a package that could run your house, okay, are they not making any money? So if they subsidised and did all that and you used all the hard stand areas of all their rooftops to use as solar panels and for the batteries, and each household dropped their usage because they were able to draw on these batteries during peak times of the day, is it about these power companies can't possibly allow governments to subsidise you and me who pay the taxes to put these things, if that's the way of the future, onto everyone's roof? And if we were to put batteries so we can store it over the night time, the reluctance on the grid would drop. I'm a great believer of lowering emissions with coal fire. We're not putting enough energy into that. There is also a nuclear discussion that we've got to have, okay? But why have we spent all of this money? And if the reports are right that every pedestal fan that is placed on these farmers' land that we're no longer producing food for is giving a kickback of $600,000 to $900,000 per annum per pedestal fan to these foreign companies, and they're all foreign companies. We're not even taxing them at the right rate. So as a critical thinker, I want to look at what we do with coal. There's something called polyethylamine. It was in Scientech Daily in 2018. A couple of scientists came out. What it is, it's like a bit of flypaper. You line the coal-fired power stations with their emissions, and as the emissions go over this polyethylamine, it's absorbed. But when you then take these strips and you reheat it, it creates ethanol. There is not enough people looking at the emissions and trying to do controlled burns. That's where I'm at. We'll go into the nuclear later on, but that's an option as well. But why aren't we using households and their rooftops? So we're ruining our agricultural areas. We're decimating people's lives. We're reducing our ability to produce food, all in the guise of climate. People, again, going through this over and over and over. It is the people at the top that are holding us back. Do something on polling day. If you value this priority, I humbly ask for your support by voting for me on polling day. Please visit my website for more information. Written and authorised by Stuart Howe, 𝐸𝐴.